Now, from the Bay Area's local news station, you're watching the KRON 4 Morning News at 7.
All right, good morning, everybody. 7 o'clock is the time as we take a live look outside. Our camera here in San Francisco, right along the Embarcadero, looking out over the Bay Bridge, and we can see a glimmer of sunshine there on the horizon.
I was going to go the other way.
You're looking at the clouds?
Well,
that's probably more appropriate. Yeah, we do have a storm heading our direction. In fact, Futurecast 4 set for 5 a.m. tomorrow shows what we might be dealing with.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's not now.
This is Futurecast.
Don't be alarmed. Yeah, so you think it's going to look like that, huh? Or even bigger.
And that's what we're bracing for here around the Bay. Robin with the commute in a second. Nothing big so far?
Nothing big so far. No hot spots, but the bridges are packed.
Okay.
It's going to be white knuckle driving.
Because
when it's windy and then rainy, it's just the worst.
Yeah, and the wind's really going to kick up. I mean, 50 miles per hour for some of the wind gusts. In fact, the National Weather Service has a high wind advisory issued for tomorrow morning. It starts around the 2 o'clock hour. It should wrap up by 10 a.m. But yes, so basically that stretches over your entire morning commute tomorrow. So it's going to be real dangerous. Try to plan ahead because it is going to be very wet, slippery on the roads, and the windy conditions definitely do not help matters on the road. Out the door right now, yes, we're seeing more cloud cover roll through the Bay Area. This is our live camera in San Francisco, just south of the market area, and Futurecast 4 showing us we could start to see some of the raindrops as early as this afternoon, mainly in the North Bay, and then really starting to pack a punch during the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. This is what we think it's going to be at 7 o'clock tomorrow, and we're going to see a lot of snow in the Sierra as well with this storm system, and it's going to last a couple of days. I'll have more details on that a little bit later. For now, though, bundle those little ones up as you make your way out the door in about an hour from now. Look at these temperatures, just hardly any movement. 30s and 40s by the 8 o'clock hour that we're expecting. More clouds this afternoon, peaks of sunshine, but yes, the possibility of those showers touching down. So make sure that they're not only dressed warm and ready for the rain, but that they do have that umbrella handy just in case. My complete weather check coming up in just a bit. For now, let's hand it over to Robin and see just how packed the bridges are this morning.
Oh, it is packed indeed. A full wait here at the Bay Bridge Toll Plaza. The backup stretches into the maze. 580 is solid from 24. It's backed up onto the East Shore Freeway in pockets coming out of Hercules. And if you come out of West Oakland, 880 North, that connector ramp is jammed up too. So take your pick. They're all slow. It will get better west of Treasure Island, and it's been quiet all morning with no major issues. So let's keep it that way, folks. 22 minutes here is your average drive to make it over to Fremont Street. I'll have a complete traffic check, and we'll take a look at more bridges coming up. Daria, James.
Thanks a lot, Robin. 7:01 in our top story. A North Bay school reopens today after a threat forced officials to shut it down yesterday.
Yeah, this all happened at Annalee High School in Sebastopol. KRON 4's Will Tran live up there this morning has been giving us updates on the situation today. Will?
People are starting to show up, James and Daria. Look over my left shoulder, and you can see people are pulling into the parking lot. School will start in 30 minutes from now. We don't know the attendance, obviously, yet, as they still need to have the students arrive. Historically, guys, after a threat, attendance tends to be down. We'll just have to monitor the situation. Now, at this school, it was open for business yesterday, but they abruptly canceled after someone discovered threatening words in the bathroom. They were not going to take any chances, especially what happened in Florida 2 weeks ago when 17 people were massacred. They're well aware of the violence that's going on in our country, so they said, get a hold of your parents, find other transportation. We are closing class for today. We're not taking any chances. We raced out here. We got reaction from the school superintendent on the culture, the mood of the school during this age.
We certainly hope it's not the new normal. We want students to be able to learn in a safe environment, and this is just one of the steps we took to do so.
I'm on a teacher.
And you can see there's a teacher that's showing up to class right now. We have not been able to get reaction, but we'll have that for you coming up at 8 o'clock. As far as what they're doing to make people safe, they're adding extra security. There should be police officers here in their uniform to show a presence, and they're still tracking down whoever did this. Obviously, in the bathroom, there are no cameras for privacy, but there should be cameras in the hallway to see people coming and going from that particular bathroom. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Will.
7:03 and A death threat was found in a restroom at Alameda High School. You can see it here. Hundreds of students stayed home yesterday, while others did go to class. This is a photo, and it showed you the threat said everyone is dead in the bathroom. Alameda police are trying to figure out who wrote it.
Another bit of breaking news this morning. Dick's Sporting Goods will no longer sell assault-style rifles.
KRON 4's Lydia Pantasis is live right now in Pleasant Hill with the details.
The CEO for Dick's Sporting Goods made the announcement this morning. They will no longer sell high-capacity magazines, and they will no longer sell guns to anyone under 21 years old. The announcement was made just 2 weeks after the school shooting in Parkland, Florida, that killed 17 students and staff members. Dick's Sporting Goods stopped selling assault rifles in their stores after the Newton, Connecticut school shooting in 2012, but the company was still selling them at its Field and Stream location. They specialize in hunting and outdoor products. The closest one to the Bay Area is in Oregon. The company's spokesman and CEO, Edward Stock, acknowledged the Parkland school shooter, Nicholas Cruz, had purchased a shotgun at one of the company's stores in November, but he did not use the gun in the school shooting. The gun was purchased even though all existing rules were followed. Edward Stack says that the system that's in place will not stop sales to dangerous people and said lawmakers must do something. In a recent interview, he said he felt he had to do something after he saw the loss and grief suffered by parents and students from the Parkland shooting. Stack says Dick's is prepared for any potential backlash, but it will not change its policies on gun sales. Last week, after coming under attack on social media for their ties to the National Rifle Association, a number of companies severed ties with the NRA, including Hertz Car Rental, MetLife Insurance, and Delta Airlines as well. Now, coming up a little bit later, we're going to try to talk to customers here at Dick's Sporting Goods in Pleasant Hill. Reporting live in Pleasant Hill, Lydia Pantasis, KRON 4 News.
Thanks a lot, Lydia.
All right, 7:05 is the time. Happening now, students at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida are back in school for the first time since 17 people were killed there in a mass shooting. And this is video of them returning to class this morning with police officers escorting them, as you can see. It's been 2 weeks since that school shooting, again in Parkland, Florida, and students say that returning to class, it's a big step for them, an important one for them in the process of healing and moving forward.
Nervous and anxious about going back to school, going back to classes, yet at the same time feeling kind of glad that we're going to all be together.
It's like the first step to moving on from the tragedy that happened.
Following the pressure of a number of students who've been speaking out about gun control, President Trump now is set to meet today with Republican and Democratic lawmakers to discuss gun legislation. Back here in the Bay Area, the South Bay, Santa Clara County's Board of Supervisors has announced plans to address gun violence. The board approved plans for a summit on gun violence and its relationship to mental health. This is in response now to that shooting in Florida. The summit will take place sometime in the next 2 months. The board also approved a plan to endorse the March for Our Lives event. That event is being organized by high school students in cities all across the country, including in San Jose. That march is set for March 24th.
A big story this morning. New body cam video has been released showing a police shooting that happened in San Francisco's Panhandle neighborhood. That's a lot of shots fired. Police say that Joel Armstrong shot and killed a 28-year-old man and injured another after getting into an argument earlier this month. Police found Armstrong in that RV you see. The SFPD says 7 officers fired approximately 65 rounds at Armstrong, and yet Armstrong was not hit. Police say they opened fire after hearing shots coming from that RV. Armstrong was eventually arrested. Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf said that this was going to happen, and it did, and now she's facing major backlash. ICE agents made 150 arrests throughout Northern California in their latest immigration sweeps. Mayor Schaaf had warned that this could happen over the weekend. She said there was going to be large-scale raids by immigration. She says it's her duty and moral obligation to warn people, but critics say her warning likely caused panic. ICE told KRON 4 that the mayor's actions put the agency in danger. Immigration attorneys say the mayor did nothing wrong, and these rumors had been circulating for a while.
There were rumors of ICE raids that would be targeting sanctuary cities for weeks now, so I don't think it's sudden. but it's concerning in the manner in which they're being conducted.
California is a sanctuary state. That means that we have very limited cooperation with federal immigration authorities. 2 people in Hayward were among those arrested in the recent ICE raids.
An Uber driver says she was sexually assaulted by a rider in Mill Valley. The victim says she picked up that man and another woman at the 2 a.m. club early Saturday morning. You're looking at pictures of her injuries. Now, once she dropped off the woman, the Uber driver says that she was assaulted by the man at that point.
Slowed down at the first entrance, and that's when he got really aggressive and started asking if he could do a bump of cocaine off my chest. And then he started reaching for my sweater and pulling at my sweater. And he grabbed my breasts and my thighs.
The victim had a picture of the man, and police recognized him right away. In fact, they said that someone who was targeting women in Mill Valley and that's known to them, he hasn't been arrested yet. They're still looking for him. Well, $10,000 reward now being offered for information about the recent charter bus vandalism. The vandals shot at the buses with BB guns traveling on highways in the South Bay and along the peninsula back in January and February. Those buses were used to take workers to tech companies like Apple and Google. The Highway Patrol is investigating 7 cases now of these bus vandalisms.
7:10 right now, and still ahead on the Crown 4 Morning News. Anti-Semitic crime on the rise all over the country. How the crime rate in California compares. And California fire chiefs say they need more money to fight wildfires. Why they say the state's resource system is lacking. And after the break, Bay Area police are outraged that these 2 twin brothers facing serious charges were released from jail. So what happened?
And I'm tracking a colder start to your morning than what we've seen the past couple of days. A lot of 30s on the board, even some 20s that I am tracking. So bundle up, but also toss the umbrella in the car. We could see some showers as early as this afternoon. My complete weather check coming up.
And traffic continues to fill in on Bay Area bridges and freeways. A live look at the Bay Bridge, where, yes, it's still crawling from the Oakland Maze. 15 minutes is your average drive in for now. We'll check more bridges after the break.